It's just not allowing it to go all the way down. See, I'm going over the top of the cam chain tensioner. See, I'm going all the way from the top of the cam chain tensioner here. And there's nothing really blocking the cam chain tensioner area here that I thought might not get over the bottom. But maybe this little blockage here is for what's preventing it from clamping down all the way. So I'm trying to see if I cut over here, right? If I cut over here, how's that going to really free up the top from pushing down, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't seem like this guy gets in the way either. It seems like going overboard. See, okay, let me try to lift. I'm going to lift this. I'm going to lift this one angle here. This is what I'm going to try to do. You can see here, this thing can be lifted up a little bit. So I'm going to lift the pressure from here and try to curve it over here. Sorry, lift the pressure from here, curve it over there. So let's say if I lift it like this, right? And I curve it over, let's see what happens. Let's see how much more slack I can free up. Just like we slack our belt. Let me see if I can. So I'm going to try to lift this guy up. Or even come and insert this guy from the other side first, really, maybe. Interlock this guy first and then bring him over there to the other side. So let me see if I can do that. I'm going to take this off. Take this whole side off again. I'm going to actually come around. Whoa. Wow. So we're going to take this off again. Because that's the purpose of putting this on, is to try things out and see what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to take this plastic covering off, just the top part only. So I'm just taking these 3 bolts off. And then I'm going to do is flex it, this guy lock in first, then I'm going to wrap him around again. And let's see what happens now. Because I'm not seeing anywhere where this actually gets in the way. The only thing I can think of, again, we might have to chisel from the inside. And if that's the case, then it might be those fins that are actually blocking it from going all the way down that it should. And we have to make room for those fins, so that means we have to cut those. We don't cut anything off our aluminum crankcase or big bore kit or anything. We're going to cut everything from the plastic. So let's say, for instance, we take this guy out. The tubing could be probably popped out for a second. Or can it? Okay, anyway, we're going to try to get this guy. It's interlocked, that's why. So this whole thing has to come out as well. Wow, they were pretty good. They got you interlocked. So I take this guy out. Okay, so I got, lucky it's the same 8mm. I didn't really have to torque this down, but I did it. So let's see if I can move this guy now. No, he's still locked in there. Really good lock. Okay, this one's fine. This one needs to be reversed out of here. Okay. So we get this guy removed. This guy's gonna come out easily. We're getting close to seeing what's really holding this guy back from closing all the way. Note to self, never use an old gasket from a year old, especially if it's been sprayed on, relied on. So, okay. There we go. So we got this back off. Okay. Our 12-pole stator's in here. Alright, so now we can free this guy up to be able to wiggle him around. Okay, so even if I'm wiggling him around and I tilt him, let's go ahead and do this. You guys can see this now. In play. No, sorry. Loop around. So even if I give him all the slack he wants to come forward like this, he still ain't gonna make on his own anyway. Because the reason why is I believe that these fins here these little fins here, right here, these fins here are gripping that fin on top. So either we need to cut the space for the fins. So I'm going to go ahead and put him through here. Just this part here. See, we need to cut the space for the fins, but I don't think the fins... See what's really blocking it. Oh, you know what it is? Maybe? I think I got it. See this little back plate here? See how it's supposed to... Let's see. I think I've seen it. See this little back plate right here? See that right there? Look where it sits. You hear this clip noise? I believe this one here... See that? It's like chiseling away. Chiseling away right there. This little back plate here. Where is it? Still a mystery. It's not. That black plate is not hitting it. It could be flushed more too. There's something else on top here that's not holding it back. But what is holding it back? That is the $1,000,000 question. Let me apply some pressure here. Okay. Give it a good pound down. Pound down, huh? Oh, man. Nope. So something else is not giving in to us. And I know our Allen screw isn't that tall to protrude this out like this. So something bulgy right here. That if we take this part off, if we just cut this little area off, it's going to defeat the whole purpose, because then you expose a little bit more open hole area, which you might as well just keep this gap hole there, right? And just use a tie strap to put these two together and keep them in line. But again, we probably won't need to, because again, when we bolt our Naruku, it's going to put pressure here on this guy anyway, and it's going to force him to come down anyway. So it's going to hold this guy stabilized in place while this bottom one holds in place. So there's probably no need to really cut the fan shroud, to be honest with you. It's just be a waste of time of customizing, because it's either way, it's not going to create any more openness for us, because we have to actually tear out some more openings here in order to get it to fit all the way in, which, you know, it'll defeat the whole purpose of having a circulation problem. But yeah, I can see how it presses right here. See, you can see it's leaving some eating cut marks right here. So this is where our pressing issue is here. So more than likely, it's pressed against these fins here. Yeah, it's not letting it go down. So that's really where it is. So, you know, if you really wanted, if you really wanted to, you know, you would have to cut a big, huge hole out here in order to fit this guy all the way down. And I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's probably better just to keep it open like this. Get the, you know, get the little more protection here versus actually cutting this whole thing out. If you cut the whole cam chain tensioner slot out, you know, you'll be able to probably fit it down, because then you don't have the fins to worry about. But unfortunately, the fins doesn't scoot in much more than we like it to, though. Yeah, it seems like it's hitting. It seems like it's hitting right there. Seems like those fins are hidden. You can see there, a little scrape, a hole right around this area anyway. So I think it's fine. I think we should just leave the fins as it is and not worry about cutting our fan shroud. It's not going to really affect much, because again, it's going to cost another crease to open mark anyway. I mean, I would love to do it. I got the Dremel tool ready to go and everything, but I just don't see any reason to where to cut in order to make one hole closed while you open another hole on top. So that's just pointless to me. So we'll leave that one alone. In the meantime, what we'll do is get ready everything to prep up and mount this guy back onto our scooter so we can rail him out. And we can put the fan shroud and everything back on there as well as install the intake manifold studs and the nuts. So yeah. that's it. That's all we got here so far. Okay, so let's go and do that. We're going to take our saran wrap off that we just concentrated on putting on, and then we're going to put our exhaust studs and everything. Well, you know what, our intake manifold, let's keep that for last, because you remember what happened last time when we tried to install that. It wouldn't let us install our carburetor, so we're still going to keep the same trick. We'll install that last, our intake manifold stud with our intake manifold and our carburetor, which is still tied to our frame of the scooter. So but for right now, what we'll do is go ahead and get prepped up ready to install our fan shroud, because I'm very confident this guy will probably not be removed. We're only going to remove it to change the camshaft if we need to. So let's go ahead and start bolting down everything and putting our exhaust studs on the bottom, because the exhaust studs, that's not going to change either. That's going to be in there for a while. So let's do this, and then we're going to use our new intake manifold exhaust gasket. We're not going to use the NCY one. We're going to use the one that came with the Taida one. So that will be that. And let's go and take our fan shroud off. The reason why I want to put the fan shroud on there now is because when we put it back on the bike, it's simply going to be a little bit more difficult trying to put it back on the fan shroud. So we might as well get that on there now, and then we can squeeze in the bike. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this guy off, because we need to take our saran wrap off now. Crazy to leave the saran wrap on and fire the engine. Even if you could, it'll serve no point, because it'll start melting. There's all the heat there. All right. Okay. Lefty loosey, coming outy. Oh. This is pretty long too, so we couldn't use any of our short. Unfortunately, our two remaining Allen screws. It's okay, we'll probably take a look at ordering some more that are more better fitting for it. Okay, so here we go. Take our saran wrap, unfortunately, off, because we're probably put our protective gasket and everything back on here. This one's interesting here, curve. Interesting way to plot it in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our Allen. We're going to go install our exhaust intake gasket. Yeah. Yeah, you can use a heavier duty wire. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started putting that exhaust there. And that exhaust takes the Allen bolts to drive it in as well. We can put it afterwards too, it's no big deal. In fact, we can put it afterwards. We can go ahead and just put our fan shroud on here now. But we'll take the saran wrap off, because we can't leave the saran wrap with the fan shroud, with the entire fan shroud in there. And before we get the fan shroud, let's get that other guy to dry out, so we can actually get everything all squared away in here. Let's go and see how he's doing. Give him one final scrub down and rinse him off. It's not bad. Take a hose to him, dry him up. Look at that muggy water there. Alright, let's go and bring him out there. Get that fan shroud dried up, washed up, put it back on our stator. Alright. Hose him down. It's time to hose him down. See all the ones there. It's clean on one side pretty well. Water needed. Nope. There we go. Open sesame. Must be the hose line. There it goes, the tangle area. Always gotta have a hose tangle on you. Turn, you're free. I think this is the crunch hose part. There we go. Like a water wheel. Gotta get the forced dirt to come out. Alright. Sponge clean for the next usage. Alright, there we go. This should be enough. Keep him dry. Okay, let's wipe him down and let's reassemble him onto our stator. Keep it over there. Clean shop rag here. Dry him up and reassemble him. Get through all the fins here, all the bye bye. A little bit. I'll be eating. Huh? A little bit later. Mom's calling me for, I guess, lunchtime now. Probably close to noon. It's okay. I had a good breakfast. All right, that's clean. Can knock it out a little bit. Get all the, a little bit of spaticle. Usually do the cardboard though. There we go. Or if you have an air gun or a blow gun, you can use that too. But looked like we knocked the dirt out of it. If there is any loose dirt there. All right, so this is it. Clean as clean can be. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to install that one back on our stator. Stator flywheel there looks pretty nice. Still nice and clean. These should be the same size, I believe. Okay. We can get this on the bike. The whole engine here assembly. We should be good. Gonna have to turn it over to the other side, of course. It's gonna be a little blacked out, but or maybe I can bring the maybe, let's see. Let's see how much back muscle I have. Okay, sorry about that. Just gonna show you as I'm cleaning it, but I didn't realize that my camera wasn't facing me. Okay, now just gonna put those bolts back in. Where was those 4 bolts that we had lingering? These are from our stator here. I mean our fan shroud. So we gotta find the 4 bolts that was supposedly we're gonna use, or did we put them in here? We might have put in there. No, we did not. This is from there. Can't use that one. Darn, I got. Hopefully I didn't just drop it in here, but if I did, that's fine. We'll find it again. Most unlikely I probably did put it in here, so let's go and find those guys again. They're probably the same size, holding the fan. So they're probably more than likely.
Mommy.
There you go. These 4 right here. These look equivalent to it. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and get those guys bolted down. It's fan, so you definitely want to still put some blue Loctite because it will vibrate. And you don't want anything to shake away. So let's go and get our blue Loctite ready. And let's go and put that in there. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Now, when we're putting the fan shroud, that means this engine is completely almost done, sealed, deal. I'm going to turn this to the right tee off mark just to prepare it. You don't have to, but I like to do it anyway before I actually put the spark plug in there. Kind of like to set the tee. Means everything's ready. You can see it much more clear now that the fan cover is not blocking it. RT is like right around there. Just between the T and the actual timing mark. Okay, so we'll put that like that. Cool. There we go. I like to put the engine in there so that way I can roll the bike freely, move it around and work on it. I'll leave the spark plug still off until the last minute because I don't want the compression to build up in the chamber yet while the bike is not really burning it off. So I believe this is the same. So we want to make sure first. I'm going to just do a dry fit. And if it is, then we'll start putting the blue Loctite. Looks like it's going in smoothly. Make sure it still has enough tension to actually grip it. Yep, it's gripping it. Okay, so it's going to move along with our flywheel. Alright. If you want to double check to how much it actually comes out, you can see here, it still sticks out this much too. So for me, I'm thinking it might be a little too much, because if it sticks out almost double than when it came in, that's a little too much. You probably want only a little bit of thread to actually go in, because if you look at this metal here, the thread's not that high, right? It's only like maybe less than a centimeter. So this might be a little bit too much high than we really need for it. So let me go find 4 shorter ones. More than likely we'll probably want these guys right here, actually. These guys. Because it'll be enough to fit through here and get a centimeter for it to come out here and fit the metal one right there. Because you don't want it too long, because it might actually protrude into the stator and does other things funky. So yeah, we'd definitely look for something shorter because those aren't it. So let's go and look for one that are perfectly for these guys here. I'm sure we'll find it. Probably all stashed in here anyway. Okay, so we got one as an example there. This might be another example. Yep. Maybe this one too. And then one more to go. This one looks a little shorter than all the rest. Let's see this one. This one looks a little longer than all the rest. Did I do this one yet? I think I did do this one, but it was kind of shorter before. I don't know. Maybe we can line them up like this. Find out how really they are. I mean, it's gonna be it's just slightly shorter. It's not gonna be a big deal, but we want to make sure that's close as possible to what was taken out of there. You can see here, these four amigos doesn't seem too far off from each other, and we lay them perfectly vertical. They might actually be the same bolts. They're not. But this one seems like, these two seems like they're a little taller. You can see that? This one makes it into underneath the first top bar, and the other one looks like it attaches the top bar. So let's try to find, that's why I find them all that's actually perfectly fleshed evenly together. Right, this one might be the same. See, this one's good. This one, so we got 3 so far. We need 1 more to match. And this guy here, he seems smaller. See that? See that? He falls even below it. So he's too short. Okay, or it might have been one of these guys that we took out and trying to replace the other one. But then these are pretty short already. I know we took one out too. So that one's over there. So these ones are pretty short already as it is. So I'll just leave those guys back in there. Okay, maybe he's in this vicinity. Nope. So we're gonna have to decide. We got 3 at least, 3 out of, we can take 3 of these guys here, and then one of them is really shorter. Trying to find to see if there's any other ones that are around that. See, this one's getting longer. It doesn't have to be perfect, it'll still work, but we just want to try to be close to what it was before, you know? Okay. So if I had my choice, I'll probably do these 3, because these guys seem to be getting longer and longer. Actually, this one here, compared to this one anyway, these ones actually might be the same 4. Because if you look at it, now that I actually have it lined up, this doesn't look too much taller anymore. Slightly. This one's way too shorter. Okay, so this guy, these 4 right here might do the trick. Let's see if I can line it. Slightly, a little bit taller in this one, but not much really. So let's just take this 4 here. Okay, so we got this 4 here. I love these dogs, huh? Alright. So I got these 4 here. We're gonna bolt those on. Our stator flywheel, so I can take the longest one that out of 4 of them, and the rest of them won't even be that higher. So let's see. So that's how I want to put this in here. See how much thread we have left. So it's about 1 centimeter here, just enough to actually get in through here and dig. That's all we want. It doesn't need to go any further. So this is it. Okay, so we're gonna line up our bolt holes. I think it goes right there. Okay, let's get the thread locker on here. Oh. Enough for 2 here to eat. So we'll just get this guy, rub him on there a little bit. There we go. Give him some back. Okay. Get him in there. Get him through to the thread area first. In fact, let me try to thread him in there now. There we go. Put this guy maybe opposite. Hopefully he hits the thread easily. Yep, he did. There she goes. And we'll torque, we won't torque it, but we'll just tighten it, hand tighten it, and make sure it gets in there. It's plastic with a little bit of aluminum, so we'll make sure we hand tighten. We're gonna let the blue Loctite do his job from the vibration part. Get this out. Blue Loctite, like it when it comes out double. You can just use that for the next one. There we go. Get this guy in here. See, this one's probably the longest one, but it's still okay. It's not too long. Okay. Alright, now we can tighten it. Preferably if you were to tighten this with torque, probably 5 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna tighten just enough by hand where I can feel snug, and just let the blue Loctite do the vibration part of it not coming off easily. Alright, there we go. Make sure again. Cool. Alright, let's sit back. Oh, you hear that? You hear that? I think this is because, is this airtight right here maybe? What's causing a little bit of, oh man, I hear it. You know what, because we got this sealed as well, right? The exhaust port sealed, and we got the intake sealed, the exhaust sealed. I never really heard it kind of. It's not a clicking noise, but it's just like well, excuse the dogs. They're useless sometimes. Yeah, it's just actually blowing a little bit of air coming out from, because we have it pretty sealed. Yeah. Feels a little bit of compression. Yeah. Interesting.